What I'm about to say makes me feel very angry and very optimistic at the same time. Out of all my lifts right now, bench feels the most promising, which does not make sense at all in the context of the pec rehab and the weight loss. But it's like, at least I got something going for me right now, right? And we're just waiting for Cole to finish fluffing up his delts now, because we got another edition of bodybuilder versus powerlifter pressing going down today on incline bench to make it a little bit fair for Cole. And I'm going close grip also to make it fair for Cole. But mostly to make it really hard on my little girly triceps that need to get stronger.
Office Seth here to say that if you're a powerlifter that wants to get more bang for your buck than you will with most online coaching so that you can learn how to better coach yourself, or if you're a coach that wants to be able to provide more value to your clients, sign up for Team Activated today and help me make lifting better for lifters and coaches everywhere. Back to the vlog.
Forgot to record Cole here, so he already did this.
Yes, it's not the first tip, but it is. Everybody decided.
Realizing this may be more load limited than I had intended with the fatigue from the seated overheads early in the week. And that isn't necessarily a bad thing, because we're still going to get a decent stimulus out of this, even if it is going to be a little bit fatigue limited. So feeler set there for those watching at home. And this is not going to be a feeler set for me, to be clear.
Okay.
Just harder than expected. Settle in. Good. Yep. 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 Yeah. Check. And I think that officially means my little brother is stronger than me at pressing right now, which I'm not thrilled about, but whatever. We'll go Elite FTS shoulder saver pad, see if we can get some better work in today before we move on to secondary. And what's a little bit frightening is I don't know right now with how I feel if reducing the range is going to make it a little bit easier or just fuck the leverages and make it way, way harder. So let's find out. Yeah, that was a good call for the day. And Cole's going down set because, you know, bodybuilder. Yep. 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 Jog. And all I can think about right now is how, like, through my entire 20s when I was doing this shit and Cole was playing college basketball, I remember thinking, like, how cool would it be if he started training and got really freaking strong and we could start pushing each other? And now that I'm here and he's a 300-pound, almost IFBB pro, it kind of fucking sucks to get beat by my little brother. Was that funny? And, like, it is kind of a point of vulnerability with the pec and the weight loss, but we gotta dig ourselves out of this hole. And that was probably exactly what I needed to get that chug through top single strain for the day. And, like, even if that wasn't a great incline showing compared to Cole or compared to where I was pre-tech tear, if we're looking back to, like, the start of the vlog when I was first coming back from the pack, and, like, even towards the end of the meet prep where I benched 440, like, I'm happy with where that is, and, like, I just gotta keep plugging away and it will keep getting less embarrassing. At least that's what I'm telling myself as I prepare to be embarrassed by dips. And I'm well aware that it probably does sound like I'm trying to cope right now, which I definitely am, but I think it kind of comes back to that whole, like, excuses versus reasons thing. Like, if I can acknowledge why shit doesn't feel super strong right now, I can do something about it. Like, I'm not, like, going like, oh, poor me, this, that, or the other. I'm going like, okay, I gotta get this pec back. I gotta get the shoulder back. I gotta get my leverages working better at this body weight. And if I do all that, bench in December gonna be sick. So that's what we're doing. Because, like, whining about any adversity, that ain't gonna do it. And no excuses, rah rah, hardcore, smash your head into the wall, that's also not gonna do it long term. But if you can acknowledge the shit that's in your way and, like, systemically attack it and chip away at it, that is how you're going to get better. And on that note, I'm not entirely sold on the decline presses from last week, so I think I'm gonna join Cole again and run some machines. And really trying to, like, spread it there and expose the shit out of the pack. I could keep doing these, like, narrow tricep-y, make it easier on me, but, like, the whole point of running these right now is to build that up. So I'd be stupid if I wasn't doing it in a way that was actually going to build that up. And, like, it kind of does suck because it makes lightweights way freaking harder, but it ain't a bad thing if I can get more out of less. And now that we've effectively trained pec with that guy, we can go and actually effectively train triceps with. Shouldn't be in your way, Keith. No, I think we should be fine. I'm doing tape presses so the dumbbells won't get too low with some incline tape presses. Starting at 80s for what should be a warm-up. Okay, hundos. Might be a work set. Yeah, and Instagram comments always get butthurt because of the sloppiness whenever I post the tape presses or the rolling dumbbells. But I think it's like the sloppiness and that roll is where the magic freaking happens, because as I'm rolling out, I'm not just like slacking the tricep and waiting for the leverage to catch the press. I'm contracting the tricep as hard as I can. I'm trying with everything I've got to extend that elbow, but because the leverage is so gnarly, it's not moving. I'm getting just an extended duration, maximal isometric before the leverage changes to the point where I actually can push through. I think that duration of the maximal isometric does something very, very, very neato for my triceps. Sorry for the lack of science words at the end. All right, Work set number 2. Hard as shit. And as usual, we're going to supplement the bullshit exercise with something a little bit more intentful. So the biggest thing for bicep tear is, so if you lack shoulder external rotation, the hand has to supinate more, right?
Yes.
And what happens when you supinate more is you end up curling.
Okay.
So like if your shoulder doesn't have the range, you have to curl to make up for it, and that's when the thing's gonna twinge.
So
Yeah, because if you can't get the pinky around, then you have to bend to get it around, and then if you have to bend to get it around, you're fucked. Round 2. Yeah, those are gnarly. And my gut is telling me right now that I could benefit from a little bit of extra tricep touching. So we're going to do a little bit of extra triceps touching here. And to speed along the pace of the vlog, gonna jam out on these both hugging style. And we're going anti-hugging direction, single arm, little bit rotated as well. I have no clue if what I said in that transition lined up. Like the pec flies were like 4 sets ago now, so hopefully that worked. And we'll jam on some inclines for the front delt raises, leverages or something. Got the biomechanics lecture coming up Saturday morning in school, so saving my nerdy talk for then rather than trying to explain the leverage differences between this and just doing a front raise standing in the vlog. But what I will explain is because the scap is pinned on the incline and the arm is going further into shoulder extension, you actually can get like a really nice extension stretch on these, similar to what you get with a incline dumbbell curl. But the benefit is, like on this, we're getting the delt to work better in that position, whereas the curl, we're getting the bicep to do it. Anyways, if you haven't already, sign up for Team Activated because you do not want to miss the biomechanics lecture series because it will 100% change the way you see training for squat, bench, and deadlift. And one of my clients, Zach, did this the other week, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, you are the smartest man on earth, so thank you for your ingenuity. Because holy shit, we got hip flexor raises without needing to get on the floor. And we got something to hold on to as well. Plus, because we're on the bench, we can get a little bit more hip extension than we would otherwise. And I'm discovering the trick to getting set up is to like pull with your hands as you're walking back, so you don't have to like cable leg curl as you're trying to step backwards and not die. Woo! 10 out of 10, would recommend. So yeah, Cole whooped my ass on incline today, and as much as I'm like not enjoying the fact that happened, I'm also freaking proud of the kid because he has been working his balls off. Like he's literally put on, how much have you gained this off season? So yeah, he is freaking up 70 pounds this offseason, which is even more insane considering that his last offseason he was up like 30 to 40 pounds. And I think like the take home point, like Cole getting here wasn't just like magically doing whatever bullshit. It was shitty trial and error through his first like 6 bodybuilding off seasons to finally figure out how hard he can push food, to finally figure out how hard or lack thereof he needs to push training so he actually is able to grow, what he needs to do with cardio. And I guess what I'm trying to drive home is, what I'm trying to do with Team Activate, what I'm trying to do with this YouTube channel is to help lifters better understand what they need to do without going through the shitty trial and error. Because if you can learn from the trial and error of others, if you can learn from me, if you can learn from other people in the community, if you can figure the shit out without actually having to go through the bullshit, you will be so much further ahead, so much faster. And if you are a coach and can better communicate that to your clients, you're gonna be able to help your clients more and more and more. So if you haven't already, sign up for Team Activated on School. Still have like, I think 2 mouth guards left and given away with annual memberships. So sign up for annual if you haven't, because you're not gonna regret it. It is sick. Get in there. Peace out. Have a good night.